all day while you do scenes that they might not have lines in. And you've got people like Kingsley Ben-Adir or like Alexandra Shipp or Issa Rae or like, you know, Simu Liu. Like, you've got these big actors who are like literally being background artists most of the time, and they're so committed to Greta and being a part of this that they were happy to do it, which was honestly my biggest fear. I was like, how are we going to get all the people we want? But kind of like how you heard Rhea speaking at the beginning, like the reciprocated enthusiasm. We'd come to people and be like, we want you so bad, and they'd be like, I want to do this so bad too, and so that was a really beautiful thing. But truly piecing together this cast was unbelievable. Just all the Barbies, all the Kens, all the humans. You've got Mattel, Will Ferrell, and the whole C-suite. You've got like Jamie and like all these brilliant comedic actors and dramatic actors, like just really going for it. We were incredibly lucky that just the caliber of people said yes and really committed to it. And everyone had to commit to it. There is no like half-assing it in Barbie Land or in this movie. The tone of it is just too heightened. You have to really go all out all the time.
Did you think about promising them free clothes? They could have just kept the outfits. I would have. Think of all the money you could save. Sorry to bring that to you now. You mentioned playing, you know, a Barbie, and I think a lot of people signing on to play her maybe might not take the role too seriously at start. You know, it is a iconic character, but you made her this truly complex, nuanced individual, as did, I think, everyone in this cast. It may seem crazy, but where do you begin in your preparation to play Barbie? Do you learn her history? Do you know everything there is to know about her?
Yeah, I obviously have been making the Barbie movie for years before it came to the point of actually prepping the role as an actor. And all of a sudden I was like, oh my God, I don't know what to do. She was like a little grape at the end of like a salad bowl. I just couldn't get her. I was like, there's nothing to hang on to. Like, what are you? I normally have like the tools that I normally implement to create a character, and I invent childhood memories for my character that somehow change the person that they are. And then I do animal work, and I work with movement coaches, and I map out emotional stuff, and I read books, and I blah, 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 and I do all these things that I normally do just wasn't applicable to Barbie. It just didn't, you know, she just exists. There is no childhood. There is no, she just popped into existence, and she exists in a completely certain world, and she then goes on this journey and you know, by the end of it obviously becomes human, but that I just didn't know where to start with all that. And Greta helped me through it. I kind of like showed up at her house one night and was like, I can't act and I don't know what I'm doing. And she was like, okay, you're doing that thing where like 2 weeks before a job you suddenly you can't do thing. But she had amazing, you know, obviously we all experience the amazing points of reference that Greta can throw at you, which can span anything from a movie from 100 years ago to a TikTok that's going viral, and somehow she'll like mash that together and make it resonate. But she also put me onto this podcast about a woman who doesn't introspect, who doesn't have the voice in her head that's constantly narrating life, as most of us do. But she has a PhD, she's incredibly smart. She just doesn't have that voice in her head. She is only focused on literally what is right in front of her at the time. So things like that really helped unlock the character too. And then I had an amazing time we mapped out very, very carefully the journey aesthetically as well for Barbie, you know, with Jacqueline Duran, our incredible costume designer, who wanted all Barbie's outfits at the beginning we kind of moved through the decade with the styles, but they also are very structured and certain geometric patterns and very structured fabrics, and then it kind of evolves or devolves as she becomes human until by the end, you know, the yellow dress I'm wearing when we get to do our beautiful scene together, I was like, well, I don't want her to suddenly by the end of the movie be in like a black suit, because she is super feminine, she is a girly girl, and she shouldn't lose that, like that shouldn't be the message, like now she's just a tomboy or something. But I was like, it should still be pretty but vulnerable in a way, and messy in the way that life is, and so it should be a soft fabric, and you know, the floral pattern, the flowers aren't certain, they're kind of random, and all of those little things are kind of representing, you know, the journey she's gone on to becoming human. And again, with the hair and makeup, the wigs, the hair, and you know, I probably had 9 different wigs, and each time they had less and less hair until by the end it's kind of realistic hair as opposed to Barbie voluminous hair and
Still pretty voluminous.
still pretty fabulous. But yeah, it was things like that, and you know, hopefully it all flies past you on screen in a way that isn't noticeable, but so many conversations I had with your hair and makeup and wardrobe department and Greta and I, and just really trying to convey at every moment on screen the journey that she was on. And then also like just physicality wise, I've tried to adjust it, going from being a very certain person to someone who suddenly starts thinking a million thoughts and doubting herself and feeling shame and experiencing all these concepts in the real world that she had never been exposed to.
I mean, how much does it help, like as actors, the day that you get to put on the pink jumpsuit, you know, the day that you've stepped into Barbie land, how much does that help you with your character, to have the hair, to have the makeup, to have the costume?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think costume